Every day in captivity, Michelle Knight dreamed of freedom, that one day she'd escape and return to her son Joey. Finally, her chance came. Years after Ariel Castro kidnapped her, he began to relax his grip, occasionally allowing Michelle, Amanda and Gina to go unchained. It was during one of those times that Michelle tried to escape.
I'm not gonna think about it, I'm just gonna do it. So I just ran. He heard me, and then that's when he ran down the stairs. And obviously I wasn't quick enough, and I was too small, so I wasn't able to jump the fence.
Castro grabbed her and dragged her back into the house. More months passed and he became more brazen. Even when Castro was stopped by police at this petrol station in 2008 for riding without a proper licence, he remained unruffled.
Your driver's license, please. What's wrong?
At the very moment this video was taken, Castro had been keeping Michelle hidden for 6 long years. Besides all the locks and chains in the house, there was another obstacle to freedom: the mind games this monster played.
He would leave the door open. He'll leave us in one room, and he'll be in another room, and he'll just like peep in every so often to make sure that we're not running out that door.
And that's why early last May, Michelle thought he'd set yet another trap. She'd been his prisoner and slave for more than a decade when she heard Amanda's daughter, now 6, yell up the stairs that he'd left the house.
You thought it was a trick?
Yeah. She was like, Daddy told me to come up here and stay. So I was like, oh, it must be just another one of those things where he just told her to go up there and say that to see if we would do anything.
But Castro had left the house. Not only that, he'd left Amanda Berry's door unlocked. Amanda crept downstairs, broke through the front door and ran across the street to call for help.
Hello, please. Help me, I'm Amanda Berry. You need police, fire, or ambulance. I need police.
By the time police arrived, it was clear this wasn't a hoax. They saw Amanda standing in the street.
This might be for real. There might be others in the house.
It was just unbelievable. I mean, my mind was going like, wow, I cannot believe that she's in front of me and there's possibly 2 other girls. My partner and I ran up onto their front porch and the door was chained shut, so I kicked it a few times.
I hear this big, loud noise, crash, boom.
I'm looking towards the bedroom.
And then he was like, police, police.
She started just charging at me. She jumped onto me. She had her arms around my neck.
She then jumped up into my arms.
And I told her, don't let me go, don't let me go.
I said, honey, I'm not gonna let you go.
We found them. We found them.
And I was like, Gina, you won't believe this. We're going home.
I've been in this business for over 40 years. I've seen a lot of heroes in my life, but these girls top it off.
The only thing I wanted to do is kiss the ground that I walk on. And run up and down the street saying, I'm free, I'm free.
All 3 women were taken to hospital. Michelle weighed less than 38 kilos.
When did you first feel free? I'm safe.
When I got into the hospital, and then everybody comes up to me, they're giving me hugs, they're telling me that we love you, and I never heard that before. I never heard I love you before.
She had been given a NutriBar and eaten it, and she asked the nurse, do you think it's possible? And she asked very timidly, I might be able to have like 1 more. And she said, honey, you can have all you want. And she grabbed the nurse's arm and hugged her arm and said, thank you, thank you, thank you. It just showed what she'd been through. I said, my God, this girl has been starved just looking at her, tortured, and that she's that grateful for such a small item.
After you got out, obviously he was arrested, pled guilty. There was a date in court, and you decided to go to court. Why was that important to you?
Because I wanted to show everybody what he did didn't define who I was. That he was my past and will remain my past.
Facing the death penalty, Castro resorted to desperate tactics.
Most of the sex that went on in the house, and probably all of it, was consensual. But I am not a monster. I did not prey on these women. I just acted on my sexual instincts.
Did you want to face him?
Yes.
What did that mean to you?
I wanted to let him know that what he has done didn't break me.
Nobody should ever have to go through what I went through. You took 11 years of my life away. I spent 11 years in hell. Now your hell is just beginning.
Do you think he heard you and understood?
Yeah. There's a point in time where he put his head down. When I was talking, he knew exactly what he'd done wrong.
Do you think he felt shame?
He had to. His children were watching.
Castro was sentenced to life in prison plus 1,000 years. 6 days later, on the order of the court, his house of horrors was demolished. Michelle returned to watch. A month later, Ariel Castro hanged himself in jail. He was 53.
Later, when you heard about how he died in prison, what did you think?
At first, I was like, okay, let me think about this for a minute. How do I really feel? I sat there and said to myself, I felt sad. He didn't have to do that to himself. He didn't have to hurt himself. But then I come to the realization that he did it because he couldn't face what he did. He couldn't face what he did wrong. And he didn't want to suffer at the hands of others. So like a coward, he took the easy way out.
He couldn't take for very long what he put you through.
No.
But you really felt sad for him? You did?
It's just like any other human being. You shouldn't, even though he did something so horrible to you, don't have to fill your heart with hate. 'Cause I don't. And I forgave him.
You wrote in your diary a long time ago about the butterfly. Do you feel like the butterfly?
Yeah. That's able to express herself the way she wants now. And able to be free without control or no worries. I'm that butterfly, freedom to fly.